Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with another installment of Mutant Monday. So, this past month, almost all of the X-Men books were overtaken by the Hellfire Gala. Now, because I really couldn't afford it, I didn't end up showing off any of the variant covers because I couldn't afford to pick any of them up. But the variant covers were all, generally speaking, focused on what was referred to as the green carpet, and showing off the gala looks from Joe Carnation for the various Krakowans. Emma Frost had 3 looks throughout the night. We've also got Rogue, Angel, Prestige, Captain Britain, Storm. I love that Storm is basically using her powers with. Actually, there's a lot of these that utilize the wearer's powers. Kate Pride, Penance, Jean Grey, Cyclops. Mastermind and Selene, Madrox and Sunspot, Wolverine and Sync, Cannonball and Sunfire, we've got Colossus, and we've got Polaris, North Star, Aurora, Eye-Boy, Dakin, Prodigy, and Kyle. Bishop, Sebastian Shaw, Pyro, Banshee, Iceman, Psylocke, Mr. Sinister, Exodus, Havoc, Mystique, Dazzler, Loa, Mercury, Nightcrawler, Pixie, Mirage, Karma, Warlock, Magic, Warpath, Magneto, Frenzy, WizKid, Cora, Manifold. We've also got a rear view of his outfit. Gambit, Jubilee, Monarch, Megan, Richter, and then, of course, for the security contingent, Wolverine, Sage, Domino, Beast, Kid Omega, not part of the security contingent, but still an VIP, Xavier. And yeah, that's our look at the variant. That is the art from the various variant covers, showing off the green carpet. So what happened in all these? This was actually rather big and an amusing way to do an interesting way to do a month-long crossover, especially with there being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 books altogether. So, initially, I thought that the books were going to be kind of Marauders is the first one. Okay, well, be Marauders to show up, to start things off. Then X-Force, then Hellions, then Excalibur, so on and so forth. But no, you actually got bits and pieces from throughout the night, all in one issue. So, and sometimes there would be references to things going on elsewhere but each book still managed to deal with their own cast members. Marauders dealt with things such as the various non-mutant heroes arriving at the or the non-mutant guests, I should say. X-Force ran security. A brief concert. Some of the Marauders, as well as an AIM operative that came in handy a while back, and Ben Grimm decided to roll some bones on the deck of the Marauder. Discussions between various members of the superhero community, as well as poorly timed moments. But overall, an interesting night, though some enemies of mutant kind were also present. Members of Clan Aqaba, Henry Peter Gyrick, definitively known to be a part of Orcus. And, of course, the Verendi government of Madripoor. And to be fair, Marauders number 21 really did a good job of setting up the kind of big things we would end up seeing over the course of the month. X-Force dealt largely with wrapping up a past plot point, namely the soft coup of Terra Verde. Wolverine's tie-in issue would also deal with this. But yeah, the issue largely also focused quite a bit on the fact that X-Force was running security. And, well, Deadpool, why Deadpool wasn't invited is beyond me. He is, after all, the king of Monster Island, formerly known as Staten Island. He's a foreign dignitary. He should be on the damn list, right? You would think, but no. But yeah, anyway, Wolverine and Domino fought him in X-Force, and then he ended up kind of helping out in Wolverine. Basically, the Terra Verde plant tech stuff, the Beast basically had them under his control, but then Emma discovered what was going on, and well, destroyed the whole destroyed the getup completely. Which made things even worse. Hellions were 12, well, obviously focuses on the Hellions. However, the only members that were invited to the gala were Havoc, Psylocke, and Mr. Sinister. However, after sitting around waiting, the rest decided to crash the party themselves. And we further get more of the, yes, Greycrow is totally into Psylocke. But yeah, so the Hellions got a little drunk and they decided to crash the gala. Goes about as well as one might expect. With Nanny trying to embarrass Sinister, though. Shortly before they're about to get thrown, the Hellions are about to get thrown out by Kid Omega. However, Psylocke makes a point of basically blackmails them into letting them stay as her +1. But Wild Child almost starts to fight. We discover that the way Nanny drinks is by opening the little hatch on the top of her head and pouring booze in. And she ends up literally trying to kill Sinister. Orphan Maker apparently loves bananas. But he's not drunk, actually, just empath used his power to make him a little happier and less afraid. Yeah, it's a mess. But it was honestly a fun issue. It's one of these where, yeah, that's pretty much the only way a Hellions issue could go, because having most of the team at the gala would have been a bad idea. Then there's Excalibur number 21, which, well, the team comes to the gala. The first surprise of the night is the reunion of Richter and Shatterstar. Take 1. Then later on, we get our first hint of the upcoming of the X-Men election. Rogue was elected. Pete Wisdom has a dance with Captain Britain and does inform her of what's been going on during her absence. Namely, Clan Aqaba has manipulated their way into more power, and also basically said, yeah, the new Captain Britain's a mutant, and mutants are of Krakoa, not Britain, so... And they proceed to be a bunch of jerks. Captain Avalon and Megan meet with are outside briefly where they get to see Kurt. Turns out it's very clear that Megan's pregnant. Later that night, Cub and Aqaba, well, ritualistically sacrifices Pete Wisdom to in the hopes of freeing Morgan Le Fay from her imprisonment in Otherworld. At the Braddock Lighthouse, however, Richter is declared King of the Druids, and he turns the cliff on which the lighthouse is into an island, which is around the time that Shatterstar shows up, and him and Richter, Shadowstar brought a six-pack this time, and him and Richter are going to, but him and Richter basically try again. It should be noted, however, that Morgan Le Fay has stepped through the gate, the Avalon Gate, into the lighthouse. Yeah. Then, X-Men 21. The big, we get a lot of moments of everyone, of people schmoozing throughout the evening. Magneto and Xavier once again offer Namor a seat on the Quiet Council because, hey, they've got 2 open seats, but each guy says, yeah, I rule the seas. You have an island. Once you have more, then we can talk. We get the X-Men election with the definitive roster listed as being Rogue, Sunfire, Wolverine, Synch, and Polaris. We also get the return of the Red Diamond. All the best news and gossip from Bar Sinister. Sinister Secret number 51. This Quiet Council member isn't actually fooling anyone. They're fooling everyone. Wear a mask long enough, eventually it starts wearing you. Such shame not being able to let things go. It's really about Mystique and, well, her late wife, Destiny. Number 52. She doesn't have it yet, but one way or another, this mutant always gets what she wants. Will it be given to her, or will it have to be taken? Doesn't matter. The real question is, what's in the box? Could it be diamonds or something far more valuable? Emma and her, what was the delivery from the Shi'ar Empire. Number 53. I bet you'd like to know how this fittest of all mutants is handling the second genesis of his external life. Sorry, you'll have to wait to find out. Apocalypse. 54. Seducer made an honest man of the island's favorite boy, but what unspoken secrets are coursing through the nervous system of the favorite boy's island friend? Are you listening? I know that you are. And I believe that does kind of seem to be about Cypher and his wife. Number 55. Regarding secrets and secret alliances, and the shadow play that is the great game of nations, just how many ruling councils are there now circling the sun? I'll never tell, but if you say 2, you're definitely too low. Number 56. And speaking of things that come in 2s, 2 empty seats on the Quiet Council are too many. Look for there to be moves made in the filling of those empty seats, regardless of how many favorites have to be called in or how many unwise alliances are formed. Just remember, when everyone has a secret, no one can be trusted. Number 57. For far too long they shared an existence. Now the one has become 2. The first is a shattered captain of a demanding queen, and the second a sinister sword under a sinister thumb. How long will the second stay there? How many more sinister demands will be too many? No one knows, but I think we're getting close. Psylocke. Clearly this is about Psylocke. Number 58. It's still in the early days of the Viscoran excavation of Blight Worlds, but an unknown material of immeasurable worth has begun appearing in the crooked market. So far, the Mad Jasper has snatched up every piece as soon as it's available for trade, but don't you worry, our Confederacy of Capes is set on acquiring some, by hook or crook. Promotions are hard to come by when everyone is resurrected immortal, but sometimes a change has to be made when unexpected variables added to the equation. Heroes in their do-gooder ways, always an inconvenience for a practical mutant. Interesting. This may have something to do with the vacancy, the vacant captain's position. Sinister Secrets revealed, reposted. We don't hear this word spoken often, so when we do, it's best to pay attention, because when you square that circle, what took a long time to build can come crumbling down rather quickly. Inferno. And finally, Sinister Secret number 60. What sinister someone has been hard at work studying the vile helix of a vile world? Psst, it's me. Shh. But yeah, so now one of the neater parts of the issue was Cyclops meeting Kevin Feige, who asked Cyclops what his story is. And it ends with the revelation of something big. What could that big thing be? Well, good thing we've got a big book to talk about it in. Planet-size X-Men. When giant size just isn't big enough. Thankfully, it didn't have a planet-size cover price. Simply put, the X-Men, or mutant kind, terraforms Mars in the span of days, making it fully habitable. Arakko is transported to Mars, and Mars is now declared Planet Arakko, or is renamed Planet Arakko, and dubbed capital of the Sol System. And that was the big finish. That was the big finish of the evening. I like the fact the issue actually went into who did what in the actual terraforming, because it's really neat, I gotta say. But yeah. Suffice to say, a lot of people are less than happy. That said, the after party is on Arakko. Then we've got New Mutants number 19. You get Warlock trying to, get close, trying to get close to everybody. An apology from Mirage to Wolfsbane. There's apparently there's a New Mutants Forever group chat. With which all of the original New Mutants. But yeah, we get some nice little moments with everyone, including a good chat between Warpath and Warlock. Warlock is kind of feeling distant from Cypher anymore, since Cypher got married. So he's trying to strengthen his friendship with the other New Mutants, but it's kind of a case of, hey, you're going to have to be, good idea, but, try and be, you don't have, just because he's married doesn't mean he's no longer your friend. He's got to figure out the balance. Back on Krakoa, however, the group consisting of Nole, Rainboy, Cosmar, and No Girl make a chilling discovery outside the boneyard. Scout's dead body. Next up, we've got X-Corp number 2. So the big crux here is the filling of is basically filling out the board of X-Corp. Monet is. You also get a lot of the differences between Monet and Warren, as well as pointing out the way they're rather similar, and the fact that they can take on a different, more aggressive form. And the fact that Mastermind hid that Warren did just that from Monet pretty much got him a seat on the board. There was also an attempt. Fenris tried to make some moves against X-Corp, but well, they were prevented from doing any real harm. And was it at the end of this issue? But currently, the board consists of Angel, Penance, and Mastermind, with one other member needed. But yeah, the members of X-Corp, Monet and Warren took down the Fenris in their attempts at assaulting X-Corp. But yeah, Wolverine kind of continues X-Force's what was going on in X-Force, with now Deadpool having still not left after he tried to crash the party, ends up saving the day, or at least helping us save the day. And he's also very keen on trying to join X-Force. But yeah, some of the Terra Verde delegation is the Terra Verde delegation is basically doing their thing, and X-Force is doing everything they can to mitigate the exposure. However, Christian Frost is murdered and the Marauder is stolen. Emma is promptly told later that the Marauder is sitting in 200 yards off the coast of Madripoor, burning. Whether or not they got their hands on the crystals from the Shi'ar crystals is unknown at the moment. Next up, we've got Sword number 6. Sword number 6 really follows up on Planet-Size X-Men, as everyone's discussing the fact that, yeah, mutant kind now literally has its own planet now. We get a really great interaction between Captain America and Doctor Doom. I've seen previous interactions between the two characters, and it's probably one of the best that's ever been done, because, you know, actually showing the nuance of Doctor Doom. Yeah, I know. Also, Senator Peter Gyrick is making an attempt to recruit Vindicator into Orcus. But we also get the first intergalactic peace talks on planet Araco. Dignitaries in attendance are Orbis Stellaris of the Galactic Rim Collective, an organic mechanical fusion construct who's 189 human years old. Nimbus Sternhoof of Great Kymelia, Galactic Council member, served during the Badshaw War. Menticle of House of Rigel, mutant and telepath, convict serving 2 standard years of diplomatic service. Empress Kuga of the Zinrix Empire, Empress of the Zinrix, and ally of Krakoa. Ritho of the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda. T'Challa's Eye, rumored to also be one of the Emperor's White Wolf operatives. Pybok with the Kree-Skrull Alliance. Power Squirrel assigned to the Peak as full-time diplomatic envoy. Smasher of the Shi'ar Empire. Super Guardian, human, ally of Krakoa. Star-Lord of the Astrologers of Spartax. Master of the Sun, half-brother to Empress Victoria. Novar for the Utopian Kree. Extra-dimensional super diplomat, founder of the Utopian Kree Splinter Movement. And Guardian of the Galaxy, alongside Star-Lord. And Earth's partial representative, Richard Rider, Nova. Nova Prime. He said when all else fell, and we remember. But one thing that is brought up is the fact that there is a Well, there is a intergalactic economic crisis, but Sword may have a way to fix that. Mysterium. Stronger and lighter than the hull plating of a Kree warship. Everyone's being given some. However, Doom has a question when he arrives. And he wants to know just who the ruler of Arakko is. And the sovereign of the Sol System is revealed to be none other. The region of the Sol System is revealed to be none other than Wind Rider, she who swam with Akanti, Hadari Yao, Storm, Regent of Mars, Voice of Sol. Yeah. But all of the, with the exception of the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda, all of the diplomats accepted the offer from, well, and also the Kree Skrull Empire accepted the offer from Krakoa, with the Emperor being advised to accept the offer, but wait to do so. There's also a surprise, however, back at the Mykonese. A final guest arrives. Rather late. Once the gala's over. Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, the Pretender. And she's there to speak with the only other guest still there and conscious, Magneto, the man she believed to be her father for the longest time. And who believed to be her father for an equally long time. And Magneto apologizes for the way she's been, for everything she's been through on account of him. And promises to make things right by her. And the two share, and he also once again claims her as his daughter, in the way that truly matters, here in his heart. Just because they're not family by blood doesn't mean they aren't family, emotionally, at least at this point. Which brings us to Way of X number 3. The issue basically follows Nightcrawler as he gets progressively trashed throughout the night. And then the next day, also, so you remember how I mentioned that Magneto was the only conscious gala guest that was still awake when Wanda arrived? Yeah, Kurt was there too, passed out. But, so yeah, he has some, but yeah, turns out there's some, they continue to investigate the Patchwork Man onslaught. And Kurt runs into Stacy X, who runs a place called the Bower. As it's explained, it's for folks who are lonely or frustrated or sad. The ones who, aren't noticed by the hero types. Ones who haven't yet figured out where they fit into paradise. Turns out, though, there have been mutant births on the island. And those mutant, and it's not, and some of them seem to just be, at this point, foundlings. So Stacy's taking care of them. But during everything with Onslaught, Legion's trying to help out there. Basically uses the angst of Loa and Mercury attempting to be together as a means of trying to bait Onslaught into a trap. Falls for that, but he manages to escape. Also, Mercury and Loa realize that, okay, yeah, they don't want to, maybe being together is not the best idea in the world. Mercury's a little messed up. But Onslaught shows up at the Bower with Pixie Legion and the Zorn brothers in tow. Also working at the Bower is Lost, the tall, stretchy mutant who was killed in the Crucible and resurrected. And Lost is temporarily put under the thrall of the Onslaught and attacks Fabian Cortez. But yeah. But Onslaught is still on the loose. And Dr. Nemesis shares a dance with Dazzler. Which is actually kind of cute. And finally, everything wraps up with X Factor number 10. Including, I might add, X Factor. Final issue. So, we get a little bit of pre-gala stuff with X Factor getting ready. Then various points relating to their appearances throughout the other books. Prodigy is still investigating his murder, and the investigation wraps up, but he can't bring himself to kill the man who killed him. But iBoy shows up. Is able to use his powers as well as an entirely new language, and fires an energy blast at the guy, giving him a hell of a sunburn and possible radiation poisoning. Dakin and Aurora show up, and yeah, they let the guy know that he's screwed. And iBoy also informs everyone where Prodigy's old body is. Later on, after returning to the gala, turns out that a specific guest was invited on behalf of Prodigy, his boyfriend, Speed, but he's running around checking things out. But iBoy tries to stop him from going a specific way, but Speed doesn't listen and stumbles upon the dead body of his, mother. Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. And the issue truly ends with Magic, Beast, Cyclops, Marvel Girl, North Star, Xavier, and Wolverine all gathered around Wanda's body, and Logan asking one simple question. Where's Magneto? Yes, this is leading to the trial of Magneto, which sadly does not begin until August. So, yeah. Got a little bit of wait time, but yeah. And of course we will obviously be covering the trial of Magneto because, well, it's the trial of Magneto. Anyway, that's all for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. If you read the Hellfire Gala issues of the X-Books, let me know what you thought of them in the comments. Hell, let me know what you think of the of Jonathan Hickman's run on the X-Men in general. Anyway, this is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.